Hey, welcome back. It's your man Wise, and today we got to talk about this right here, man. So last week, obviously, you guys know the debate happened. Revolt News, there is a lady out there by the name of Tezlyn Figaro. She's an Air Force veteran, and I appreciate her service, but the lady is insufferable, to say the least. We're going to react to a video from Pink Book Lessons. Shout out to that sister because she does great work out there. The full link to the video will be in the description box if you want to check it out without my commentary. We got to get into this. We got to talk about it. And without further ado, let's go.
Terrorists promising black people in 4 years.
That was a valid question. That was a valid
Let's get the next person up.
I understand what you're
don't ever do that with me though. Don't ever do that with me. You'll get your friend embarrassed. Play with your little friends.
I would never be embarrassed.
Out of order, especially for a woman that's a half-century old, older than anybody else on stage. With the job of maintaining a level of decorum on the panel, she did nothing but the opposite. That was to embarrass and shame anybody she didn't agree with.
As a former foster child, had I aged out, I would have only left the orphanage with a garbage bag full of clothes, and they would have given me a $700 check a month and told me good luck. So I think that it's disgusting, a spit in the face to kids like me who didn't ask to be born into the situations that we were born into, that we would never be able to qualify for the resources that are literally being given to somebody else.
Michaelah, should is what's driving the vote.
Michaelah, I would like to ask you a question.
Okay, hold on, guys.
Foster care in which state?
California. The same California that is giving $150,000
can I ask you
to
this?
illegal migrants. But if my sister, who just aged out of foster care 2 years ago, she wasn't
hold on, wait a minute. Then there's no point in talking about that destitute situation.
It is.
Let's move on.
Because right now people are being allocated resources, and we have people who need those resources. We're talking about the fact that we're not prioritizing American citizens.
No, but we're talking about
we're not prioritizing American citizens.
You heard me say at the beginning of what I said that I believe it should go to American citizens first. I said that, ma'am.
Okay.
I just asked you what was your response.
Fact that when we're talking about immigration, we understand that Republicans would not give out these resources.
That's all I wanted you to say.
My point is Democrats are only proposing that these resources go to a certain group, and black people need to pay attention to the fact that y'all won't get those resources.
Ma'am.
That's the point. Y'all go ahead. Y'all move on.
Ma'am.
I'm right.
We said that it's not about right or wrong.
It is right.
No, it's not.
It is right.
I just want to know.
Black people won't get those resources, and therefore you should not vote for a Democrat who would allow foster children, veterans who lost limbs fighting for this country, veterans like you and this man here, not get those resources.
We agree. Girl, relax.
So if Democrats are giving them out, then why haven't Democrats given them to black people?
I'm not talking about no Democrats. I asked
why
what was
haven't they given them to black
people?
Is something
wrong with her?
No,
there's something wrong with her.
See, this clown tried to disrespect and clown the other woman the whole time, while creating this love and hip-hop circus with her nasty, condescending attitude. I'm talking about an agent of chaos. She would get everybody hyped up and then say, relax, relax, relax. She'll deflect by telling them to relax over and over again, then pointing at them like something is wrong with them. With the guy, she's like, it's something on your mouth. She used that to make him be quiet.
In the comment,
from abortion, but that don't mean that I don't know that it's wrong.
Right.
See, one of the issues we have in our community,
relax, soldier, relax.
The issue that
Remember
we have
on
in
the
our
airport.
community.
Hold on, tone it down. Relax.
Fair enough.
Come on, you foaming at the mouth. Relax, baby. It's cool. Relax. You foaming. Relax.
Watching this, I'm not gonna lie to you, man. Watching this was very hard to watch, and honestly, it's just embarrassing because we saw or seen at the ABJ. Or in ABJ, when Trump came out there, you had the black journalists, they asked these, just bogus questions. They were not asking questions with the real intent to get to know who he was, what he planned on doing for the black community, how he can help the American population. They didn't do that. They came as an arm of the Democratic Party, and they came to throw daggers. And in this particular situation, it's the same thing. You got a brother here who considers himself to be a conservative, who's trying to live his life in a certain way, but yet you got a sister here who, for whatever reason, decided that she's not going to let this man talk. As we keep going into this and watching more and more of this is the type of people, this is the type of woman that gives a lot of black women a bad rap, unfortunately, because she would ask a question. She's supposed to be the moderator, but wouldn't let anybody speak. She gaslit, she yelled, she screamed. I mean, it was honestly insufferable. And if I didn't do this on a day-to-day basis, I would have cut it off. I would have. There is no way I was going to get through this entire panel or whatever the case may be, whatever you want to call it, there was no way to get through this because this lady was just so disrespectful, so disingenuous, so insufferable. Honestly, sisters, I need y'all to start calling out people like this. For real. Y'all got to start calling people out who act like this.
Then with the woman, she's like, is something wrong with her?
Giving them the black people.
I'm not talking about no Democrats. I asked
why
what was
are
your
giving them the black people?
Is something wrong with her?
No,
there's something wrong with her.
Like, ma'am, everybody can see what you're doing. You don't have this position right now because you're intelligent. There's something feminine about this woman. There's an energy about a feminine woman that could still get the job done and communicate to everybody more effectively to actually have a decent conversation. This whole conversation is pointless because it's only filled with shame, insult, and guilt tactics.
Yeah. This, honestly, for the brothers that were conservative, this was a waste of time, to be honest with you. Shout out to the brother for not just getting up and walking off set, but this was a complete waste of time. This lady is so disrespectful. It's just beyond me. Nothing feminine about her. And to be honest with you, as a man, I'm just not going to take anybody just talking to me crazy like that. I'm just not going to do it.
With this hound dog energy.
Y'all see how she's trying to switch it to make it seem like something's wrong with me when all I'm trying to do is point out the fact that black people are not being prioritized in the administration. Therefore, when you ask about what Republicans are doing for us, what are Democrats doing for y'all? Besides putting you last.
Nobody asked you that.
Thank you.
Nobody asked you that. What I'm asking you now is to let young
John, please go ahead and share your thoughts.
I'm asking to share your thoughts. I didn't ask you any of that. Girl, relax.
I had to put it in there because I saw where you were trying to pigeonhole it, and I wasn't going
ask you a simple question. You the one that was at Chick-fil-A, wasn't you?
No, yeah, it was
okay, yeah, I thought so.
What does that mean? Does that prove a point of some sort?
No, I just want to know. It's a simple question. Why y'all can't answer simple questions? What's wrong with it? All right, let her finish. Girl, relax.
This lady is full of sugar honey iced tea, for real. She's gonna say real condescendingly, you're the lady from Chick-fil-A, aren't you? Oh, I thought so. Exactly. Them fighting words a lot of places. And those of us that are Christians, those of us that we don't want to live that life no more, we just can't be around people like this because they take us to places that we don't want to be. And they bring out something in us that we don't want brought out anymore. So people like this, you just got to steer clear of, to be honest with you.
People trying to associate Chick-fil-A and
no, I asked because I wanted to make sure that was one because you was in there.
But I was also the girl who spoke at the rally. I was also the girl I'm also the girl who mobilizes HBCU students every year. I'm also the one who provides internships and jobs to these kids. So stop acting like all I am is a girl that showed up at Chick-fil-A. Let's not do that. Let's not do that.
Do you want to do the receipts again?
If I had the opportunity to meet a president and it happened to be at Chick-fil-A, I'm going. I'm going. How many people in this room have met a president? Okay, can you let him care where you meet him at? Because if I ran in a truck at a gas station, I would have been just as excited.
The anger and jealousy that was oozing out of this insecure, immature woman that's nearly 50 years old is crazy. She should have the wisdom of a grandmother by now. And it's not normal to behave like this. 100% out of order.
Oh, she was 1,000% out of order. She's supposed to be the moderator. This is insane. That's what I'm saying. I don't know how anybody got through this video. Now, I will say this. When I went to go check out the video itself all the way through, but it only has 98,000 views. This is Revolt. They have 3-point-some-odd million subscribers to this particular channel here for Revolt. And the fact that this video only received 98,000 views tells you everything that you need to know about this particular person here. This was awful, man. But again, it seems like liberal black folks, I'm just going to keep it a buck here. Liberal black folks are some of the most unprofessional folks out there. They put on platforms like this, the NABJ, and then have the nerve to be mad, to be upset because no one actually takes them seriously. Think about this. Do you guys recall during the first debate, the Biden-Trump debate, you had people in black media who I would assume are part of NABJ, they were upset. They didn't get press passes to be a part of the debate. I don't necessarily, I'm not mad. Honestly, they're a piss poor representation of black people. We don't act like this. We don't all talk like this. This lady right here, the way she ran this panel, it was beyond unprofessional. And that is the problem. That is the problem that I have with a lot of these folks like this. a lot of times it's just so unprofessional instead of doing their job. It is just flat out ridiculous, man.
It's my show, man. See, that's the problem. You think business. Ain't but one sister on here that on Fox News. Ain't but one that do 100 hits on Fox News. They don't call this sister. They call me.
They call me.
How many you do a year? How many do you do a year?
I've literally done 30 in the
Baby, I do 100 every year.
And I've said what I just did in the last 2 months.
I do 100 per year.
And I just came on the scene.
I'm a big dog.
The jealousy that was clearly displayed on stage for a woman half her age was super embarrassing and real life proof of what I'm always telling young women. But listen, there was a lot of gaslighting on TV the night this was broadcasting. I have to say though, Revolt was the worst. It was unprofessional, embarrassing, chaotic, and as long as they have that hyena they call the host of the show on there, they should never be taken seriously. Yeah, I can blame her, but that's not enough. I gotta place the responsibility at the feet of whoever's running Revolt now. It's not Diddy, so who knows who it is. It was definitely the most serious, unserious program that night because they allowed this woman to come in there and orchestrate so much chaos and turn everything into this big joke. This lady is a liability. She had your audience members about to fight each other physically. And I'm surprised there wasn't a fight on stage. They tried to turn Magic City into Fight Night and package it to viewers as a real news program. Yeah, absolutely crazy. I had to get that out of the way first. Whoever's greenlighting this chaos over at Revolt, you're the problem. Now, the horrible host of this awful Revolt 5th grade news show, she had it out for Michaelah Montgomery the whole night after this comment was made.
And I do want to say this, and this is, I mean, Tez, I know you said one thing, you said, hey, you know, you sit next to a big dog, you sit next to a big dog. But out of that whole stage right there, if Trump wins, only one of y'all going to the White House, and that's Michaelah right there. And so we got to be honest on what we got to know. We have to know. What I'm saying is, hold on, out of the whole crowd, only one person, hold on, let me just.
Now, I have to say the moderator was already on 100 before. She was cutting everybody off, asking questions, not letting anybody else answer after she posed a question to them, ultimately attempting to babble and argue her way to answer her own questions. She was doing that from the beginning of the show, but when he made that comment, she spiraled out of control and started comparing herself to the woman that's half her age on stage.
Go ahead, brother.
And this is why the black people, when it comes down to a divide,
focus on
when it comes down to a divide in our community, this is why, because we're talking about everybody being so politically correct instead of in 4 years, what are we going to get? You mentioned chaos. Black people have been in chaos way before this debate ever started. We're in chaos in the homeless shelters. We're in chaos when it comes to the Department of Labor. We're in chaos, the fact that Jock has to bring out laptops for the kids because there's not enough resources in our community. Right. And so when we have a sister with a different opinion than ours, it's about giving that respect. The fact that...
Hold on, wait a minute. I got to... Wait, no, you're not... No, I'm...
She has no respect for men. She has no respect for anybody, to be honest with you. I can't even just say men. She has no respect for anybody. This lady, she's one of the most disrespectful people I've run across in quite some time on TV, to be honest with you. I know a few folks that I've run across in person that are extremely disrespectful. I ain't gonna talk about that right now. But this lady here, oh my goodness, man. If you guys recall, this is also the same lady who was extremely disrespectful to Vivek Ramaswamy on the Breakfast Club when she was on there with Charlamagne the God. She was on there with him. I don't know if I've seen her back on the Breakfast Club. Not that I watch it like that, but I hadn't seen much on her because I would assume that if she's on, she'll make news.
I'm going to stop you because you're going on and on. And this sister here is the one that invited this sister. So if I did not respect this sister, she wouldn't be sitting here. You're going to put some respect on that. We're not going to sit up here. No, you can get frustrated and look down and all of that. Relax. Well, we got to make sure we're very clear. This platform was designed to bring this sister here. So if there was no respect for this sister, she wouldn't be here. So let's make sure we're using the right context, brother. I don't mind you making the point about one sister going. This is the only sister on this stage that want to go. So let's also make that clear because I don't work in no White House. So I want to be clear about that. Everybody ain't trying to get a job in the White House. You can continue, but let's not act like she's not respected because she is. We just have a difference of opinion.
When people are yelling about who's a...
The crazy thing is that same lady that's talking trash like that, she wanted to be a part of the Trump campaign. She wanted the check though. She's like, I'll be a part of it if you pay me. So that just lets you know that this lady, she's for sale. She was part of Bernie. That failed and fizzled out. She was gonna flip to Trump, and the money wasn't there. So if Trump would have paid her, if the Trump campaign would have tossed a couple ducats her way, she'd be 100% MAGA right now. That's a fact.
Big dog.
I am a big dog.
And what I'm saying is,
I'm a big dog.
Out of this whole stage,
anybody that's got to tell you that they're a big dog, they not.
Only one person was standing on the stage with a presidential
and
candidate.
Only one person on this stage flipped Michigan. And only one person on this stage organized over 2,000 people every year. Only one person was the racial justice director for Bernie Sanders. Only one, because remember, you don't want to do resumes because the sister already said she don't have no resume. So you might want to back that. Yeah, you did. You said you don't have like resume. Ain't but one sister to sing.
This lady is extremely disrespectful. Goodness gracious.
Public policy advisor for Ben Crump. Let's go on to the next. Ain't but one sister signed the front of the check for 1,000 people. Oh, baby, I know you don't want to start doing the only sister. I know you don't want to start doing the only sister receipts because ain't but one sister served in the United States Air Force.
Look at young Jock, man. I want to slide that back just a little bit. Let me see if I can.
Bernie Sanders. Only one, because remember, you don't want to do resumes because the sister already said she don't have no resume. So you might want to back that. Yeah, you did. You said you don't have like resume. Ain't but one sister to senior public policy advisor for Ben Crump. Let's go on to the next. Ain't but one sister.
Look at Jock. He's like, yo, where in the heck do y'all got me? Who is this lady and why am I here right now? This is Young Jock. He's on the radio. He has I don't know if his radio station is syndicated, but he's definitely huge in Atlanta. Obviously, he was a hip hop artist from back in the day. He had a couple tracks that went crazy, but he's on the radio on a day-to-day basis. He has about 3 million so people that listen to what he has to say on a day-to-day basis. So he's legit. I ain't hating on that brother at all, but he's sitting there like, who is this lady? How daggone, what's the word I'm looking for? How jealous, how insecure can you be? Goodness gracious. This lady is 50 some odd years old, if not 50, close to. The lady sitting next to her, Michaelah, she's in her 20s, if I'm not mistaken, 20s or maybe young 30s. Like, you're supposed to be, a mentor. You're supposed to be someone that even if y'all disagree from a policy, from a party standpoint, you should be still willing to mentor because she is trying to get to where you are as far as being a Fox contributor and all these other types of things. And this lady is she's awful, man. She made this entire panel, this entire video hard to watch, which I would assume is why so many people did not watch this video.
Sign the front of the check for 1,000 people. Oh, baby, I know you don't want to start doing the only sister. I know you don't want to start doing the only sister receipts because ain't but one sister served in the United States Air Force. Let's go on to the next person because I don't like the passive aggressive diss because I run these receipts down. So let's go on because ain't but one sister served this country on this here panel.
4 years from now, black people have to decide what they're going to get at the end of the year.
You're talking to a whole veteran,
and we're dealing with the disrespect right here. 4 years. What are black people going to get at the?
Because you heard us say she don't have the resume that I got. So go on to the next sister. I'm not gonna handle your passive aggressive distance, baby. I run these receipts down on you. I run these receipts down on you. You talking to a whole veteran. So baby, ain't nobody impressed about working in no White House. I done turned it down. Ain't but one sister on here that on Fox News. Ain't but one that do 100 hits on Fox News. They don't call this sister, they call me. But how many you do a year? How many do you do a year?
I literally done 30 in the
Baby, I do 100 every year.
And I said what I
do 100 per year. I do 100 per year.
And I just came on the scene.
I'm a big dog.
By the end of the year,
I love my sister. I love my sister, but you're not going to divide us.
But you can't deny
the real thing is going to be, we need to really talk about black people in 4 years. What are we going to get in 4 years? Let's not talk about the criminal. Let's not talk about the charges. 4 years. What are we going to? What is Harris promising black people in 4 years?
That was a valid question.
Let's get the next person up. Let's get the next person up.
I understand what you're saying.
Don't ever do that with me though. Don't.
This lady, I told you, she's insufferable, man. She, golly, if you cut this video off already because you couldn't stand listening to this lady, I understand. Matter of fact, I overstand because she hurt my head listening to this ish.
Never do that with me. You'll get your friend embarrassed. Play with your little friends.
I would never be embarrassed.
This was the most idiotic crash out response ever. It was actually a comment that didn't even need a response. But her ego and low self-esteem couldn't handle another woman being perceived as being in a better position than her. Super unnecessary. She was so jealous she escalated the whole situation to outright disrespect towards the other woman. See, young ladies, I've been saying this for a long time now, and I know some people didn't want to accept it, really the older ones still running interference. You can't get the advice you need from them, you can't get the support you need from them, because they really have an agenda to sabotage you. They put bad ideas in your head and steer you into destruction, loneliness, misery, and struggle. Why? Because misery needs company. They won't tell you that they messed up in life, so don't be like them. No, they do the opposite. They tell you to do exactly what they did so you end up in the same spot. For years, I've been telling you that they've been recruiting all the younger women to be like them. And if you don't join the Black feminism sorority of lifelong degeneracy and failure, then they will bully you and make you feel like an outsider. Well, I'm here to tell you, don't feel bad about being an outsider, because the levels of the devil that's inside with them, that's some heat you don't want to feel. You don't see any femininity. That's a very bad look. No amount of makeup and weave can hide that unpleasant energy. It's a repellent not only to men, but women too. And women, you have to stay away from it because it'll rub off on you. If you're a day one supporter, you already know my favorite law. Avoid the unhappy, avoid the unlucky. This is why. This is not feminine or inspirational. Nothing pretty about it at all. Very ugly behavior. And it doesn't matter if you agree with the guest. As a moderator of a debate, your job isn't to argue with the participants. You're supposed to be there to maintain decorum in the conversation, not cause chaos and stir everybody up. I have to show you this. The Jezebel energy was so strong, it permeated through the whole building. The audience members even started arguing with each other.
Yeah, I just want to speak to the people in the Christian community. As a Christian, I'm actually very disappointed in some of their point of views, including the rights. Tell people, I've heard a couple of conversations, people saying that a man can't tell me what I need to do with my body. But as a Christian, I just feel like, how can you agree with something or someone who says, when the Lord had already said, do not murder? So how can you agree with somebody who said, yeah, let's go ahead and abort, even when they have came out the womb? You know what I'm saying? And then the lady back there who said, Kara, was that your name? Who said, how can we agree with someone who said, grab people by the vagina? Well, as a Christian, I'm agreeing with Trump, and I don't identify with necessarily either party, but this year I am Team Trump because of his policies. Most of the ones, when I go by line, they agree with Jesus' principles that's laid out in the Bible. You know what I'm saying? So I can't be mad at someone who half of his principles is aligned with the Bible. I can't disagree with someone who is against the LGBTQIA, DEI plus agendas with men, including men, you know, playing in women's sports. I cannot agree with someone who's going to go ahead and take away our gun reform when in the Bible, Jesus is actually for us protecting ourselves. Somewhere in Luke, he definitely said, here's 2 swords. Okay. That is enough.
So let's let because she was talking to her in the pink, so she wanted to comment. Come on, sister, we're running out of time.
Okay. The first thing God called us to do is love.
Correct.
And I think a lot of our speech, yes, 100% has been inflammatory, but he's called us to love and not judge.
Correct.
Second thing God gave us is free will. It's not up to us to decide the cost of somebody's sins and how we're going to act out this person's punishment. So when you sit there and say that Trump's policies align with Jesus Christ, do you hear his speech? Do you hear his speech, though?
He can work on his heart.
We're not concerned with speech. We are concerned with policy. And the sister here who claims herself to be a Christian, I'm talking about the lady in the pink here, who's talking about speech, when it in the word it says you judge a tree by the fruit it bears. Trump's fruit is his policy. Yeah, you know, his rhetoric may be, you know, a little off the charts from time to time, especially in the past, some of the things that he's been caught saying. But I would assume that you catch most politicians off the cuff. They ain't saying some things that are pretty uncouth as well. You know it, I know it. But we judge a tree by the fruit. The fruit are the policies. And the policies, again, like the sister with the checkered on, like what she was saying, the policies voting for someone whose policies are in line with my beliefs. I'm not with the, you know, alphabet community, the transgender movement, I'm not with trying to change over our kids, you know, and trying to convert our kids one way or another. I'm not with that. I'm not with closed borders. I'm sorry, open borders. I'm not with that either. We need to close our borders. I'm also not with men participating in women's sports. Now, we got to say men participating in women's sports because women will never participate in men's sports. No matter how much of a man she thinks she is, she ain't competing with us. It ain't going to happen. So we really got to talk about men who want to compete in women's sports and go in there and dominate. And we've seen it time and time again. So she's absolutely right. This lady here is talking about rhetoric. She's talking about speech. Just keep listening to her, though.
But God says in the Bible, judge a man by his fruits. His fruits. Hold up. No, please.
His fruit is not his words. His fruit, what he actually does. She misinterprets the actual verse itself.
Don't talk over me. His fruits are inflammatory. His fruits are rotten. So please don't disrespect my Jesus Christ like that. Okay, my family was very, and let me also go back just a little bit more. My family was very instrumental. And let me also say, my family was very instrumental. Is this mic on? Can people hear me?
I feel like it was okay. Go ahead. We can't hear you.
Yeah. And I'm also saying this as a person whose family was instrumental in founding the AME church. I don't know where your relationship with God went wrong, and I'll retract that because I can't judge where you're. But I think you need to go back to the Bible a little bit more and have some one-on-one time with Him to really think about whether the person that you're calling to represent this country actually represents Jesus Christ, or whether he's actually thwarting Jesus' word.
You said that I'm disrespecting Jesus Christ, but what's disrespectful when he is the one who creates life? I think anybody who's a Christian can say he is the end all be all. He is the Alpha and Omega. He is the only one responsible for life. So what is disrespectful to the Lord Jesus Christ is him giving you a baby and giving you life and you dropping it at his feet saying, I don't want it because you don't want to control who you having sex with. If you do not want to have a baby with somebody that you don't want a baby with, you don't need to be having sex with that person. Maybe you need to close your legs. Maybe that's what you need to do because you just don't want to be responsible with your body count. You want to use the I don't want a man telling me what to do with my body as an output and as an excuse. But that is not. You telling me I'm disrespectful and I need to revisit? Maybe you need to revisit.
Okay. So when you relax.
I'm going to shut it down right there. Goodness gracious. But I'm so sick and tired of these quote unquote Christian Democrats. You can't be a Christian and a Democrat. The ideology is antithetical to each other. These people don't care about Christ. They don't care about the word of God. As a matter of fact, they would prefer to get rid of the word of God. These are the same people that want to get rid of the Constitution because the Constitution, the principles are biblically based. These are those people. She took that whole, phrase, you judge a tree by the fruit. And he was like, oh, his words, but his policy. Look at the policy. The policy is the fruit. It's just so unfortunate, man. It really is. And it's just, like my guy, Vince Everett Ellison says, man, don't go to hell with these people. Supporting the Democrat Party is a one-way ticket, a fast track to hell, because their policies, their ideology, their rhetoric is evil. But I'm so looking forward to hearing what you guys have to say about this. This daggone revolt panel, it wasn't even a panel. It was a lady just being ratchet as all get out. I'm looking forward to hearing what you guys think about this, though. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. Drop me a comment. I'm looking forward to hearing from you guys. Keep God first in your life. Stay prayed up. It is crazy out here. And I'm going to catch up with you all next time. Peace.